Good morning, good morning. It's Tuesday morning and we have a busy weather day ahead. Hi everyone, I'm Eric Wilhelm with a video blog here with a stormy day, a possibility today. I wanted to quickly review what happened over the last few hours. It rained cats and dogs at the start of the day today as a lot of people headed off to work and school. Here's some rain gauge numbers. We picked up about 0.7 in downtown Youngstown at our studios, and similar numbers, somewhat similar numbers throughout Mahoning and Columbiana counties. Ignore the 0 at Guilford, that's not right. Newton Falls 0.85, and then generally third of an inch to a quarter of an inch or so across the I-80 corridor in Trumbull and Mercer counties earlier on this morning. It was really raining hard at around 5:36, 6:30 this morning. Now, when I recorded this video at 8:25 a.m., that first batch of heavy rain was continuing to push off to the north and east. A skinnier band of rain and thunder will move through this morning. No severe weather with this, but there can be some briefly heavy downpours in some spots. Now, later on today, our attention turns to the threat for severe weather. Now, in the yellow coloring here, that's where the Storm Prediction Center, part of the National Weather Service, does have a slight risk of severe thunderstorms. Now, slight sometimes is kind of a deceiving word in these cases. Slight's actually kind of one of the middle categories in the severe weather risk categories. You think slight, you think no big deal, but it's actually kind of one of the middle categories. It's something that gets our attention when we're in a slight risk for severe weather. I'll talk a little bit more about the risk categories here in just a second. Briefly, let's take a look at the HighRes modeling for this afternoon. This is a model that updates once an hour and oftentimes does a pretty good job in the coverage and the placement of showers and storms. Sometimes, just like any model, it has a bad day, but sometimes it does pretty well for us. This is the future radar as we go through midday. We should get into kind of a lull. I talked about this last evening on TV and online, that midday should be kind of the quietest part of the day. Then as we get into the afternoon, the atmosphere will reload some. Now, what we're seeing, the trends on the last few runs of our high-res modeling, the trends have been with more numerous storms in western and southwestern PA and fewer storms this afternoon in eastern Ohio. I'll show you what I mean here. It's 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock this afternoon. You know, if this has the right idea, it's real stormy east of I-79 and then down towards the Pittsburgh area and down into the mountains of West Virginia. But north and west of there, things will be pretty spotty and not that impressive looking. That's the idea that's been advertised by the last few runs of the higher res modeling. I think the ingredients are likely to come together a little more nicely to our east. Probably a little bit more in the way of sunshine around midday today. You're a little bit closer to the actual area of low pressure up across Ontario, and the closer you get to that low pressure system, the more energy there is in the atmosphere, the more spin there can be in the atmosphere. And so that's why I think you're seeing the modeling showing a more active late afternoon and evening in areas primarily east of I-79. Now, as we go into the evening, the severe weather threat will end and nothing more than a couple of showers out there later on today. I wanted to show you one of the parameters we look at here. This is called the Energy Helicity Index, fancy meteorological terms here, but basically what we're looking at is not only the instability in the atmosphere, but also how much potential spin in the atmosphere there is. Because there is a low-end risk today of some brief spin-up tornadoes, particularly in Pennsylvania. This is at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Notice some moderate levels being shown here east of I-79, down through Bradford, Clearfield, Du Bois, Johnstown, heading over towards the Altoona area eventually, and then up towards Buffalo and Jamestown, New York. That's where it looks like the combination of unstable air that can rise, and air that can spin with height, or change directions with height, I should say. That looks like that's where it's probably greatest this afternoon. Again, in areas to the east of I-79 and over towards the I-86 corridor, southwest New York, and then across I-80 into, like I said, Du Bois, Clearfield, places like that in Pennsylvania. So right now, this is where the Storm Prediction Center does have that slight risk. They include in that a 2% contour here for a tornado chance that basically runs from the Ohio-PA border over to west central PA into southwestern New York. What I suspect you might see this morning out of the Storm Prediction Center is they may shave a little bit of this slight risk on the western side. They may get rid of the slight risk in, say, Akron and Ashtabula, maybe even Youngstown, down towards New Philly and Wheeling. That's a possibility. I think the ingredients are just a little bit better over here in western PA this afternoon. So all that being said, even though it may sound like I'm poo-pooing the severe weather risk a little bit this afternoon, we still have to be weather aware today, especially during the mid-afternoon hours. Make sure you have your Storm Tracker 21 app handy. Any weather service alerts that get sent out, whether it be a watch or a warning, will get pushed to your device if you have that setting active. So make sure you do have that setting active on your Storm Tracker 21 app. Don't forget you can track the rain and the lightning anytime on the app by tapping on Map. That's our interactive radar. You can go into the settings there and make sure it plots up the lightning if that's important to you. So as the kids get off the bus this afternoon, if they've started school already, could be a little bit stormy in some parts of the area, and certainly the risk for severe weather is there in some parts of the region. Again, maybe highest to our east, but we don't want to let our guard down just yet across eastern Ohio. I'll, of course, have frequent updates throughout the day on air and online, and if we get some severe weather going this afternoon, I'll do some live streaming on our website, on our app, and on my Facebook page as well. All right, again, stay weather aware today, and have a great Tuesday, everyone.